Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a little special guest with us. This is Felix. I am pet sitting for one of my friends. When it comes to social media, we want to have good photos of our products, of our clients' products. We might not have a ton of skills. We might not even know where to start. So I thought I'd share with you today 3 really simple at-home product photography ideas that you can use for anything. They don't take a long time. They don't take a lot of planning. Again, they're really cheap. You can just use household items. And most importantly, you get really high quality photos. You can use your iPhone for this. I use my Sony camera. It just makes things a lot easier and you can change the settings, but your iPhone, that works just as well. And if you're wondering about lighting tips and tricks and all that stuff, I do have a video linked down below that you can check out. But otherwise, let's jump into it. So find your window, and this is the natural light we're going to be using. I got this poster board from Hobby Lobby, and then you can grab a casserole dish and then your product, and of course some water. You're just going to pour a little bit in there, not too much, and then place your product in it too. Then grab your hair dryer and you're gonna make these beautiful waves when you turn it on. Again, you can use your iPhone or camera, it doesn't really matter, but make sure to zoom in so you don't see the edges of the casserole dish. Just keep in mind when you're using a casserole dish like this too, it usually has wording on the bottom, so just keep that in mind when you're taking photos. And photos is only part of it. We're gonna get into editing, so we're gonna go ahead and open up Snapseed. So to get rid of the blemishes, we're gonna select healing, and then all you have to do is zoom in and just select where those blemishes are, those little specks. I love using this tool. I literally use it for everything, but if you don't want to deal with this, I would recommend maybe ordering an actual tray, like a clear tray to do this. I'm sure there's some on Amazon that are pretty inexpensive too, but since we're doing household items, this is what we're working with. Okay, so now I've got all the specs done. I'm gonna go select Tune Image. This is where I'm gonna brighten the image, so I'm turning the brightness all the way up. The brighter, the better. I'm also turning the contrast up a little bit as well, saturation up just slightly, ambiance. Depends on the look you're going for, but you just kind of see which one looks better. I'm just doing a little bit in the negative there, and then highlights. Again, I love it being brighter. Now you can end here. This is just fine, but I just wanted to take it a step further, so I'm opening up the Tezza app. I love this app because it offers a lot of really nice filters that Snapseed doesn't have, and then it has a lot of features, again, that Snapseed doesn't have. Specifically, the one I love using the most is HSL. Here, I'm just lowering the intensity of this filter so it's not too in my face. I also like the temperature feature a lot more, so we're gonna move it over to the more yellow side. I think it looks so good. And now we're getting into HSL. The reason I love HSL is because you can actually maneuver the colors to look exactly how you want, so you can kind of change the look completely. But yeah, there isn't really one way to do it. It's just whatever kind of look you're going for here. I feel like with this image, I want it to be really summery and bright. So I'm really messing with that saturation on the reds, the orange and yellows, and then the luminance as well, just so again, I'm getting that bright, beautiful look. And with the blue, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm turning the hue all the way to the green tint, I guess you could say, and then saturation all the way down. And this is actually just going to make the white just pop, and again, just look a lot brighter than it actually is. I love how this looks, so I'm gonna save it to my phone, and here is the before and after. For the second one, you are gonna grab a piece of clothing. It could be just like a dress or something. In this case, I just had this pretty robe. You just wanna have some pretty fabric, and this is perfect for jewelry photos. Again, when you're taking photos, also make sure to get that short form content too with your iPhone. If you don't have a dress or anything or any fabric, you can always check out Walmart or Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby does have the clearance section, and usually I'm able to find really nice fabric. I would also recommend taking photos during golden hour because that golden glow is so pretty, especially with your jewelry. And just like last time, taking photos is just part of it, so we're gonna go ahead and open up Snapseed. Since we don't have any blemishes or anything to erase, we're just gonna go straight into Tune Image, and we're gonna right off the bat make that image brighter. My goal for this is for a glowy romantic look, so that's the look we're going for. I'm doing basically the same thing I did last time, making it brighter, doing a little bit of contrast, a little bit of ambiance, all that stuff. When I got to warmth, I couldn't decide if I wanted to do more of a bluer look or a golden look, if you know what I mean. I didn't know what looked best, so we just kind of saved it and went right into Tessa. And I selected the filter I wanted, and I think it looks fantastic. I love these first 3 filters, they're so good. I also turned up the exposure feature just a little bit because again, I kind of want to just brighten this a little bit more. And now I'm just gonna go right into temperature. Again, I don't know if I want it to have more of a cool tint or a warm tint, so let me know what you like best. I went with golden just because I feel like you can't really go wrong. You know, golden hour is beautiful. So that's kind of what I did. And then I also thought the green looked really nice, just a slight green feel to it. So, and there's not a lot of colors in this image, so there's not a lot of colors I really want to bring out, but we're going to HSL anyway because you never know unless you look at it and see what colors are popping. You would be surprised at how many colors are popping. So for this specifically, the actual gold on these earrings, I just wanted to mess with, and they actually have quite a bit of red in there, so you can see I'm just messing with the hue, seeing which I like best. There's also some orange in there, so again, messing with that hue. I wasn't really messing too much with the saturation and luminance, just a little bit, not too much. I feel like if you go overboard, it looks a little silly. And because this is a little bit more golden, it has quite a bit of yellow in here. And so here I'm just kind of seeing, okay, what are we working with? What kind of hue? And you can see here when I turn up the saturation, it really pops. So I decided to really mess with the luminance and see if I can make it even brighter. And because I added the tint just to be a little bit green, I just messed with that. And then there really isn't any blue or purple, so I just kind of left it alone. So I love glowy photos, and Tessa is the one for glowy photos. So they have a feature, you click on blur and then you select glow, and look at that, it's so dreamy, so romantic, so beautiful. It just fits so well for jewelry. I just absolutely love it. Obviously, I don't want to go too overboard. I just want to have a nice subtle look. So we're just going to turn those all the way down. And look at that. I love it. Before and afters. Let me know what you think. For this next one, you can get a poster board or some paper, whatever works for you. I got this bulletin paper from Hobby Lobby, and I have this stand that I just put it on, but you can tape it to your wall, whatever works best for you. Next, you're going to grab a plant. This is going to make a beautiful shadow on the product. It looks so nice. I love it so much. And you can get a variety of different photos with different kinds of plants with the shadow. So I love this so much. So easy, so simple, and cost effective. Again, we're jumping right into Snapseed and going to Tune Image again. Now for this one, because it's a little bit of a darker photo, I do want it to be brighter, obviously, but I want it to be a little bit moodier and grainier. Since I'm using the product native, I want it to be kind of gritty. I just want it to feel natural and organic. So I really want to emphasize the darker parts of this photo because there is so much contrast in it, and I want to use that to my advantage. But I don't want it to be too harsh, right? I want it to still kind of blend and look really nice and organic. So with the shadow, I'm just making them a little bit darker. And then of course with the brown, I want to emphasize the more golden tint. So now going into Tessa, like I said, I wanted to have some grain in it, and so we're going to use a textured filter. These first 3 filters again are wonderful. They would all work. It just depends on the kind of look you're going for, but my favorite filter is called Vinyl. I love this so much, and the nice thing is, again, you can adjust how strong the filter is itself, the grain, all that stuff. Plus it's got the glow in there, so that's a plus. I don't know if I really want this to be super glowy, so we're gonna focus mostly on the texture. And then I'm just messing with the exposure, the brightness. I was trying to decide if I wanted a darker look or a brighter look, and I honestly feel like the brightness looks so good, but not too bright. And then obviously the temperature is a big part of it. This looked a lot better with the warm temperature, so I was stuck with that. Messed with the tint, and the slightly green tint I felt looked the best. And of course we're going on to HSL. Now we have a little bit more color here, not a ton, but that brown is really rich, so I just wanted to make sure it looked the way I wanted it to. And here I'm just going to fast forward because obviously we've kind of gone through it before, but you can see what I'm doing. I'm just testing the oranges and all that stuff. And then I wanted to make sure the green was really reflective of the packaging. Once I liked all the colors, I actually went back to fix the grain. I felt like it was a little too grainy, so now this is the result. There isn't a huge difference, but it's super bright, and as you can see, it's a lot more organic, which is what I was going for. I hope that this was helpful and informative for you, and maybe just getting you a good start on taking photos and realizing, hey, I can actually get some pretty high quality photos with my household items and with really basic skills. And the more you practice, the better you'll get over time. I know I'm learning. There's always room to improve. So if you have any fun ideas, make sure to comment them down below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.